We're doing the prayer.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the TruuuTalk podcast. This is season 2. Milan, what episode is it?
18.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus. Oh, my days. Listeners, I need to let you know, right, first of all, before we went live, we said, this is episode 17. I was like, Milan, you got it? She's like, yeah, I thought it was episode 15, but I know it's 17. Cool. We go live, 10 seconds in. I'm like, Milan, what episode is it? And what did she come out with?
On purpose, right? She must be, because I swear down, Milan, you
can't make it up. Let's try that again. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the TruuuTalk podcast. This is season 2. Milan, what episode is it?
17.
Hey.
Round of applause. That's right, it's episode 17. Now, this week, as always, we've got our 2 topics. We've got Ask Millie in the middle, and we've got our words of wisdom from Cher. Now, if you don't know what this is, right, we start with a serious topic. Now, this week's serious topic is stop and search and how it instills fear into black men. We're then going to do our Ask Millie. This is where this is where Chidi will give Milan a scenario, right? A real life scenario, and we want to know what Millie's thoughts of it. It's like an agony aunt. It's called our Ask Millie. Then we're going to do our fun topic, which is, do you think makeup is a form of lying when dating or in a relationship? Woo! Then we're going to do our words of wisdom from Cher. Now, this week, as always, we are joined by the TruuuTalk First Lady, Miss Chidi. Miss Chidi, bang, bang.
I got physical tears in my eyes today. Peace, love, and light.
Don't forget the namaste.
No.
Hey, man, he needs no introduction. Mr. TruuuTalk himself, Mr. Ashley. Show. Our very own banter bringer, Miss Milan, Miss Millie Rock.
Hey.
You don't know, she's got the AM Masters Essentials oils going on right there. Show them.
Amazing.
Our favourite girl from the small islands, Miss Cher.
What a gun.
Hey.
Going over there. We've also joined by Mr. 100, a special guest today.
I'm there. I'm going to unlock my camera in a second for you. Look.
Yeah, we're having a bit of technical issues there. It doesn't have to unlock the screen. But don't worry, we're going to get there.
Let me get that charger, please, babe.
And of course, myself, DJ Sticky Fingers.
The one and only.
Apparently so. I'm not too sure about that one. Anyway, as I said, this week, our first topic is stop and search and how it instills fear into black men. Now, to go first in that one is a man who took over last week. I don't know if you caught last week's show. If you didn't catch last week's show, make sure you get on YouTube. It was Ashley and Jonathan Hawkins, absolutely wicked show. Make sure you go check that out on YouTube.
Jonathan Hawks.
Did I say Hawkins? I didn't I? I said it twice now, wasn't it? Jonathan Hawks, cool guy as well. Don't worry, it all happens. So Ash, what's your views on this? Stop and search and how it instills fear in black men.
Boom. I'm going to start off by explaining why I made it specific here. Because I don't think that any other race of man, or any other race in general, actually has the same experience when it comes to police or has the same installed fear or worry when it comes to the police. Just by my experience, I've never been with a friend of a different race and them have that same fear when they see a police car coming or when there's a police car behind us when we're driving or if we're walking through the park and whatever. They just don't have the same thing. So I'll start off by saying that's why I made it specific about it being a fear into black men. And I feel like it's not an accident. And I feel like it's an agenda. Do you get me? I feel like it's part of an agenda and something that's been... So it's something that's been on the agenda since we came here, since our grandparents came here. You feel me? Like my granddad, he doesn't really, in terms of like telling me his story about his experience with policing, he didn't really ever tell me too much negative, or didn't really tell me too much about it. But when it comes to like my uncle, my dad, and that, they would tell me, innit? They would tell me that how the police would chase them and beat them up and throw them in the back of the van and punch them up and not even arrest them and them kind of things. You know what I'm saying? By knowing that, it lets me know that it's not new, innit? It's not something that they just started doing to our generation. It's something that's obviously embedded into British, not even just British, American, not even just American. It's just culture in general. In most countries, black people are treated unfairly or treated aggressively by police. You get me? So yeah. What was my point? Sorry, I forgot because this you weren't muted. I can hear him talking in the background. So I feel like it's something that they've obviously done on purpose. And I feel like they start doing it when you're young. So like when you're in school. So for me, it was started in secondary school, like getting stopped or getting taken off the bus. And I even wrote it in like a book that I'm writing. It's like a story where we're on the bus, and this is like year 7, so I didn't know that we were perceived in a certain way. I just thought, right, man, catching the bus. You get me? Obviously, I know the man them and just chilling. You get me? But when the inspectors got on the bus, they got on the bus with the police, and I obviously had a monthly bus pass. My mum used to pattern my bus pass. So when they've come to me and they're like, "Oh, everyone get off the bus," I'm assuming like not me, innit? I got my bus pass, but in the eyes of the law at that time, man, it's the same as every other black youth sitting at the back of the bus. So man have to come off the bus, get searched, and obviously get let off or whatever, because obviously man got nothing. But for me, that was like a shocking experience, because it was the first time I ever dealt with police and been seen as like a perpetrator, even though I didn't commit a crime. But that installed a little piece of fear from the beginning. Like that was my first encounter. So automatically now, every time I'm on the bus and they get on the bus, I'm going to be scared. I'm thinking, they might take me off the bus, they might search me. You get me? And then obviously going out with my friends now, there's a few of us, and we're in the town centre, so we might get stopped, or you know what I'm saying? So it starts becoming, when I'm with my friends, I might get stopped. So now there's a fear of being stopped with my friends. Do you get what I'm saying? And then it grows, and then it's like after school, man's will be our school friends, and we're a school that people might deem as a troublesome kids in the school. So now the feds are stopping us after school. So now I've got to be scared of getting stopped by police after school. And then, you get me? And then it goes on and on, you get me? Like, man start driving now, and then man's getting pulled over all the time. And now man's got to drive with the fear of being stopped in my car all the time. So it's like every stage of development, man's being basically like harassed by these group of people that are installing fear at every stage. So man never ever get to grow and feel like they're there to protect man, or that like they're there to support man. Every single stage from childhood, from like adolescence, teenage, young adult to adulthood, I still have to be worried about them or be in fear of them. Do you get what I'm saying? And even now, when I'm in a position where I'm not doing any type of anything, everything I'm doing is good, everything I'm doing is legit, everything I'm doing is okay. Even if I'm driving, I'm insured, I've got a license, all of that. The people, I'm not really feeling scared to get stopped. Even if they do stop me, I'm okay in it. They're going to stop me and nothing's going to happen. So that fear has kind of left me, but the people that I'll be with, maybe I might be with my cousins or my brother or whatever, they're going to feel like, the fact, do you get me to police there? I'm like, I have to remind them, like, no, we're good. Like, man's insured, you don't have to worry. But that fear never leaves, man. Do you get me? And yeah, I just feel like it's not an accident. You get me? Something that's been done on purpose. You get me? And it affects a lot of us.
I definitely hear you, Dan. I'm going to come to Share next. Before I do Share, I'm going to speed some of his messages. Empress says, evening. PD says, hey, Empress. Isan and Kim says, good evening, guys. NG Banks says, evening, all. I think NG Banks is joining us on next week, right? Or a couple of weeks, NG Banks is going to be joining us all the way from Nottingham. Empress says, hey, Peely. Peely says, hey, Banks. NXT Up TV says, yo, people. Let's see some more of these messages. Everyone just saying hello to each other. So I'm glad everyone's saying hello. It's good. It's good with hellos. Cousin Soldier says, peace and blessings. Life is not worth stressing. Don't worry. Be happy. Smile. Appreciate short life. Hope you're all well, my beautiful brothers and sisters. I love you all. Big up to yourselves. NG Bank says, sometimes that fear of police presence makes man appear to move a bit shifty. That's a good point there. But all stems from the fear of police. Now, actually, on that, I'm going to come to Share next. Share, going on the back of what Ash is saying. Lord God.
Sorry, I'm just saying your camera's not there.
You have to scroll over. If you scroll over, you'll see him.
No. When he talks, each person who talks comes up on my screen. Sorry.
Oh, no, Sticky's mic is separate from his camera. That's why.
There you go. I can see you now.
So shit. What I was gonna say. Share. On the back of what Ash was saying, do you think that in terms of the topic and on the back of what Ash was saying, do you think that it's a race thing or is it just an authoritative thing?
I think it's both, to be honest. I definitely think it's both. You know, I feel like the way that things are tackled when it comes to the police, I think that a lot of it stems from just racism, basically. And I think it runs deep. I feel like in terms of what's going on, I think more can be done in terms of like maybe work within the community, you know, more things done within the community rather than, you know, police just going for black men and stereotyping them or thinking that they're going to be a certain way just because they're black. Do you know what I mean? I feel like a lot more needs to be done in that sense. And even me, I've been stopped and searched before, and it was all because I was actually minding my own business, eating in Subway, but obviously Subway was full of all black people. So the police came in and they searched everybody. But it's like, I feel like people need to know their rights in terms of that as well, because that's really important to know, you know, what to say and to know how to address police, because I do think that people can get themselves into deeper stuff sometimes because they don't know how to react to certain things and they don't know their rights and what's legal and what's not from the police. Do you know what I mean? And that's how they get away with certain things a lot. So, yeah, I think when it comes to that side of things, black men are definitely treated unfairly, 100%.
So do you think, like, going using your example being in a Subway, do you think it was, I don't know, full of white guys or white girls? Do you think the situation would have been the same or any different?
No, definitely not. Obviously, the area it was in, and everybody in there was black, so it's just a bit like, But then it's funny because that was to do with drugs, yeah. But it's like, don't white people do? A lot of white people do drugs too, so make it make sense. Do you know what I mean? Make it make sense.
Oh, we argue with that. Read some of his comments. A lot of his 100 next Friday. Read some of his comments. Peely says the police never come towards black men or people with good intentions. They want us to fear them. It makes them feel superior and godlike, and they love it. Peely says, so true, Shem. Tiny Dancer 07 says they have no presence other than when there's an issue or when they think there's an issue. Where is the actual presence other than this? Good point. Kaiser Sosa says, lesson 1, pull phone out and record it. Evidence is power. Good point there as well. Mr. 100.
Before you go to 100, so something that Cher said that I wanted to pick up on, yeah, because you're saying about it's important to know your rights, yeah, and I agree with that. You get me? Because but sometimes even if you know your rights, they can still violate you. But knowing your rights means you know that what they're doing is wrong. You get me? Because man grew up thinking like man got to a stage where man didn't feel like what was happening was wrong. Man just felt like what was happening was normal, like it's their job to stop man because we're black and we look suspicious. Yeah, like it started to become a normal thing and man forgot that it was them abusing their power. You get me? So that's why it's very important to know your rights. I just want to...
Definitely, can't agree with that. Knowledge is power, as they say, right? Knowledge is power. Mr. 100, what is your views on stop and search and how it instills fear into black men?
All right. Personally, I've heard everyone. I like what everyone's saying. What I will pick up on is that, like, for example, my brother said when we was young, we thought it was normal. Now, I remember there was one altercation when I was young, and this is when I never, like, for me personally, I never thought like, oh yeah, police are looking at me like that. Like, you know, like when you're young, it doesn't like, I think I was like, what, 13 probably, or like 11, I can't remember, but 11 to 13. So I was quite small as well for my age. But I remember one time where we went shop, and I followed my brother's shop, and I felt like that's a privilege. You know, like, yeah, I can go to my brother's shop. I'm feeling like a big man. Cool. Go in shop. And then police have just come. But then he's like, yeah, go home. Like, go home. Like, you can go home. Don't worry. Don't worry. They're like, we have nothing on us to like, go home, innit? So he's told me to hop on the bike and go home. As I've done that, police have followed me. And they've come to me and then just tried to take me off the bike. And like, it was a shock to me. Because I was like, wow, this is like, they've hopped on me like I'm. But now looking back though, because obviously a lot of things happen, like I could have been the young boy or the young kid that they've given everything to and told them go home. So I'm not saying, like, it is wrong 100% how they treat people and how brutal they are. But a lot of things don't help certain things. So it's like, obviously, there's a lot of kids out here right now carrying knives, drilling, whatever. A lot of it, and they're globalizing it, so they're glamorizing it. So it's like, yeah. So it's not helping certain things. A lot of people are dying. So it's not helping the case of the matter of, yeah, black. It's because they're black guys. Because the reality is, as black guys, white guys will see another white guy and be like, you're right, mate. Keep it moving. Other black boys, they'll look at each other and screw, and they might end up in a little situation or whatnot. And that's just not even off the whole, because some guys will look at you and go, you would nod at them. You looked at them so long, and you're just like, you're right, brother. And they're like, yeah, right. Like, it's not ever going to be that, but it's the fact of the matter is, police themselves, most of them are like, remember, because you have to actually remember, they've got like sergeants that are like 60 or sergeants that are like 50 and they're old, like they're in it. Like, they are the racist guys. So you might catch an officer that's actually okay, but their whole hierarchy is racist. Like, it's based on a racist thing, 100%. A black youth therefore gets treated different from a white guy, 100%. And if a white guy is rolling with 5 black youths, you're getting treated like a black guy. Like, that's not gonna be like a, do you get it? That's not gonna be your savior. Like, you're not gonna think you're about to walk off. We just see you chilling with them, mate. They might say that you may not be the lead culprit because you've been rolling with these guys, but you are the main person. But like what Cher said, yeah. Like what Cher said, yeah. When she said about white people take drugs as well, so it's like, okay, cool, you're getting stopped for a drug check, that's cool. But what they tend to know is that, okay, cool, they take the drugs, white and black guys are selling it. What they know in their head as well is that the white people, or do you get what I mean, or other races are importing this. It's not just black men. Like, do you get it? You've heard people say, like, certain black men can't even leave the country. They're on license. How the hell did they get something that's imported them? That wasn't from them. How did they didn't go and import it themselves. Do you get what I mean? How did these guns get in here? How did certain things, it's not the black race. No. It's not them. Guns are not coming from Africa. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Cocaine and drugs are not coming from Africa. A lot of things are not coming from these places, but what are coming from these places are artifacts, ancient history and certain things, but they put them in British museums. So if man can see that they can take stuff, put it in British museums, what do you think that they're going to do to the black race anyway? They're planning to destroy it. But we're never going to, like, we'll never overcome it, because there's never going to be enough people willing to lay down their life for this thing. And that started from our ancestors. You have to understand, the people that died in the transition of slavery are not happy with the people that are now alive, telling the story, saying, yeah, it was hard. And yeah, that's brutally true. And that's brutally honest, because they're saying, I laid down my life for what I believe. You submitted. And now you've led the rest of the people beneath you to now just, that's what they believe in. And that's what they But that's not the truth, bro. Like, do you get what I mean? So it's a lot to take in. But as Ash said, the police have been brute. That's why they've been taught to suppress the mind from early. Because if they don't do that, you're going to learn that you are above certain things. Do you get what I mean? There's certain people that are above the law. I don't know if you guys watch that guy. He's actually taking a mick right now. That World Boss comedy guy. He's putting clamps on cars, just having fun. But he's showing like the government and showing police how you guys take the piss. Look, do you get what I mean? He clamped a police car. The guy was sat there like, oh my days. He's like, show me your badge. And the guy's showing him his badge. And like certain things. And he's not even got no badge or nothing. He just got an old clamp and he's just messing around just for views and whatnot. But he's showing them. Because he's actually clued up in the law thing. They even hopped out on him, all 7, 8 on him. He's like, no, don't touch me. Like he's showing them. Like it's about what you know, but there's not what it is as well. It's about, cool, a lot of people got the knowledge, but then they don't have the money and financial status to back it up, because this is what it is as well. A lot of people of us, we know our rights, but they don't care. Money speaks in this world, in the government and how they work, and it's fucked up. But anyways, I've been talking a lot. Everyone else, I don't know. Let's hear what everyone else got to say.
Do you know, definitely some valid points in there. And there's one of them I want to touch upon, actually. One of the things you said in particular. I'm going to come to Chidi with this part as well. So, Chids, going back to what Mr. 100 said, right, in terms of glamorizing stuff. Okay. You made a point in there saying that, we glamorize, and I say we, to young black men, glamorize certain lifestyles. Do you think that is working to our disadvantage? So, and the reason why I say that is if I use like a simple scenario, if you've got 10 white guys, say, and 10 black guys, from what we see and the music that we listen to, it feels like the 10 black guys are the ones who glamorizing certain things. So it may seem like there's 20 black guys doing something and no white guys, if that makes sense. So I'm saying, does Mr. 100 have a point in terms of, it seems that he's saying that we are our own worst enemy. Actually, are we our own worst enemy by glamorizing it? That's probably my question I should ask.
That's a great question. That was perfectly worded.
Definitely worded.
Are we our own worst enemy by what we glamorize and then complain about what the outcome is? Because it does annoy me. Don't ever get it twisted. It annoys me. It's like, oh yeah, they're beating up the black. Yeah, okay, cool. But then, like, okay, they're harassing that little. He's done nothing. But what's his brother's fucking record? Do you get what I mean? It's not like people think that, okay, cool. Like, there are some cases where there's innocent youths out here. But I remember when Ash used to say this to me, I used to say, nah, man, you can't say that though. Then he's like, no, bro, deep it. The police are on you for anything. The police are troubling you. You ain't innocent. Meaning you have an awareness that you may not be doing something that's that bad, but police are able to bother you because you're doing something. Because there's people that can tell you, I've never been stopped and searched, or I've never been in an altercation with police, because they're generally innocent. They're not even police don't even flick up into their radar unless they're in trouble. As Ash said, police don't flick up in my radar when I'm in trouble. I want to ring my brother. I want to ring my dad or someone. I want to ring my uncle. I'm not really trying to. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But that's a great question. The glamorization of certain things is what we bring the police. It opens a window, 100%. Because just imagine all these things were happening, stabbing, all these things, shootings, whatever, but no one was talking about it in songs and stuff. Like, it wasn't something that was glamorized, It wouldn't be so bad. Showing you, because there's a lot of things you have to understand. No one is standing in a song saying that they rape people. Rape, yeah, cool. No one's rapping saying I rape girls and rape, because not glamorized like that. It's very bad. But how much years did a rapist get? And then you're gonna go and tell someone that's a drug dealer. It's about the glamorization. They know that if they shut down these things that people are glamorizing, like, yeah, cool, drug dealer, you think that's cool, yeah, cool. Slapped your favorite rapper that's a drug dealer with 14 years. Do you want to follow that route? No, you're not going to follow that route. Oh. It's how life goes, though, man. Like, the government's never going to change. But yeah, Sticky.
No, not me. Chidi. It's Chidi.
Oh, Chidi.
Sorry, I was listening attentively. I like the way that Mr. 100, he took it right back, and it is a form of modern day slavery. It's that slave mentality, isn't it? It's never gonna end. It's always going to be there. And I think in terms of, saying that the lifestyle, certain lifestyles glamorized and is promoted through songs, through films, whatever and stuff. It's very, very, very true. And I think that the Black community, they don't help themselves in terms of certain things. Obviously, they're talking about real stuff. If you listen to like a lot of rappers nowadays as well, they're actually deep in it and they're speaking consciously as opposed to, any other way. But I'm not saying it's too late because it's never too late, but I think it's when you put something out there, especially through music, it acts as a mantra and it creates a ripple effect, and it doesn't leave you. It actually like sort of exists as an energy. So you might be in certain situations. I think we had a topic before where we were saying that, if I'm driving and I'm listening to a certain type of music, it's going to affect the way that I drive. If I'm feeling a certain way, I will listen to a certain type of music. It's going to enhance whatever emotion I'm feeling, whether it's anger, sadness, fear. Do you get me? It's going to enhance it. So I think in terms of glamorizing this kind of lifestyle, music is definitely a protagonist in the whole glamorization of it. And I think if we, as a collective, we obviously need to start thinking consciously. We obviously need to go back and kind of, dig in the archives, work out what happened, learn about what happened. This is where community, going back to what Cher said, community needs to come in. Do you get me? Like, because if you, like, I work with children, and as many a times I've spoken to police officers, and you know what, 9 times out of 10, they're all right people. Do you get me? They're just human people, like human beings, just like the rest of us. But then you have the hierarchy, and you have the different levels and the different tiers, and the older the older the establishment is, it's more of that kind of racist mentality. I've spoken to a police officer who said that his dad was a police officer, and the things his dad told him, if you see a gang of black men, they're definitely doing something wrong. They're definitely either going to commit a crime or have committed a crime at some point. So you have to be on them. Whereas it's about changing the mentality. And then I think, obviously, especially young black men, they have their backer. I've got brothers, do you get me? I've got younger cousins, male cousins and that, and they will move a certain way when police are around. Do you get me? I got my brother don't really give a fuck about the police. He said, I'm not gonna act, off the essence of fear when I see them. And even being like that, they've looked at him and said, oh, you think you're above us, yeah? Or you don't fear us. So they'll give him something to fear about. He's been in situations where he's been CS gassed for no reason at all. He didn't do anything, but they still CS gassed him. And the person that he was with, who was white, who was doing the most, they didn't trouble him or didn't touch him. So I think it's just that mentality. And until it's really, really highlighted, yeah, everybody talks about it. Yeah, everybody points it out. Did you see what they did to that black boy? Or did you see what they did to that gang of black men? And then the black men will react a certain way because of colour and because of this and the other. We can keep talking about it, but it's about changing mindsets and changing mentality and putting a different wave of consciousness out there, if you kind of get me. But yeah, that's my views on that.
I love it, man. And again, I think one of the most important parts of what you said there is change, innit? How do you change it, really, innit? It's all good us talking about it and being upset. It's actually all good us being upset about something, but how do you change it, innit? So yeah. I'm going to come to Miss Milan next. Milan, before I come to Some Messages quickly, Tiny Dancer 07 says facts. NG Bank says 100%. East London Kim says 100% facts. This is true. Fire emojis. NG Bank says the thing is people have to express their real life experience, and not everything in life is good or bad. We're talking about the music. Where the problem is that big corporations or media companies jump on the bandwagon. Okay, good or positive. Okay, fair enough. Peely says yes, Chids, and Kaplan said 100%. NG Bank says it's not just music though. Every film or every TV series about Black lives is always the worst side of Black lives. Fair point. And really 365 says facts. Miss Milan, Miss Millie Rock, what is your views on this one?
I definitely think it installs fear with the police, because like now, like my son's 6 and he'll walk past police officers or if a police car is driving past and he gets all excited and he's waving and he wants to say hi, like, because it hasn't affected him yet. Do you know what I mean? And he's like a young black boy, obviously he's 6. So it hasn't affected him yet. So he's at the point where he still wants to say hello. If we go to an event and police are there, he wants to go stand next to them. He's like, Mum, take a picture. And I'm standing over, screw face on, like, fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I have a different view and a different, what's what I'm looking for? I don't know what the word is, but a different experience. I've had a different experience with police. But obviously, I can't just show that to my kid, else I'm doing exactly what they are. Do you know what I mean? I can't be standing going, oh no, don't talk to the police and don't do this. I've got to stand there and my insides are like, fuck's sake, but I'm on the outside smiling, going, again, smile, look up. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I walk off and in my head, I'm like, fuck's sake, can't even post that picture. I want to delete that picture. I don't want a picture of my phone. Do you know what I mean? But that's just because of the experiences that I've had with police. Do you know what I mean? And I definitely think as my son gets older, you know, hopefully it's not even that he's a good kid. Do you know what I mean? But hopefully he is a good kid and he doesn't ever get stopped and searched and he doesn't have to go through the things that like I did or my cousins have. Do you know what I mean? Because he shouldn't have to. Because of what? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's mad. And I definitely like the point that 100 made of saying it's the hierarchy. That literally, because the people at the top are literally the oldest, they've worked their way from the bottom to the top. So now they're all 60, 70, like 80. And when they was in the younger ranks, that's how it was. Do you know what I mean? That's when we was coming over. That's when our grandparents came over and that's how they was getting treated. So, you know, they've got that in their blood, it's in them to be like, okay, cool, this is how we should treat these people. They didn't like the fact that we came over and was opening up our own like businesses. Yeah. They didn't like the fact that we came over and would just have a street party just because. There wasn't a reason. It wasn't the Queen's birthday. Do you know what I mean? We was just having a party just because that's how we are. Like, cool, if the sun's out, we're going to get a barbecue, we're going to get a bottle of rain, we're just going to have the music on and chill. Do you know what I mean? But they didn't like that because it was different to what they did. Do you know what I mean? The only time they had a street party was the Queen's birthday. If a royal was born and they had a bank holiday. Do you know what I mean? And even then, they weren't having parties in the street, they was down on the beach. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was different back then, where it was different and they didn't like it. But I think now they still have that, because when Stop and Search came out, they're literally, their balls got bare heavy and they was like, yeah, like, do you know what I mean? Because they then had the power to stop us. But back then, because it just came out, there wasn't really rules and regulations, or that there was, but we didn't know what they was. So they could stop you for nothing. Literally stop you, don't say nothing, pat you down, tell you you're on your way, and then you got to ticket. Do you know what I mean? You get your little, like a slip. You then get off the bus in Croydon, you're getting stopped again. Then you have another slip. You're going home, literally in your school bag, and your mum's like, what's all of this? And you're like, oh, I just got stopped again. Do you know what I mean? But it was part of the routine. It shouldn't have been. Do you know what I mean? It literally shouldn't have been. But it was. But I don't know if it's getting better. Obviously, I'm older now and I'm not on buses and stuff like that anymore. So I don't, and of my younger cousins and that aren't from around here, they're all from Essex. So I don't really know how it is. And obviously I don't talk to youngers because that's just weird. But you know, I don't know if it's still as bad as it was when it first came out and like we was all in school, but hopefully it's getting better. And do you know what doesn't help as well? Can
I ask a question? Sorry to cut you. I don't want to cut you yet, but you just said something about your cousins being in Essex. Yeah? Do you think it's going to be...
My cousins don't... No. My cousins don't look black. My cousins look white. So they are literally out of the equation. Like, they don't look black.
Okay, but you see, okay, I've heard someone say recently, yeah, I can't remember, I think it might have been Fredo, he says that I'm not classed as an IC3 or something. He said something, but when police see me, I'm an IC3. It doesn't matter. I'll be real. You see, even when you watch a stand-up comedy from Cat Williams, and I'm so sorry to cut you as well, but you cannot say that, oh yeah, they live in Essex and they don't look white. But it depends on how they move. Remember, it's not about. Remember, Cat Williams says, "Oh, we're all niggas now." He's not. It's about the cycle of the mentality. Like Ash said, they've been embedded in it from young. Yeah, cool. So what if a white boy rolls with me from young? So he's been watching me get stopped and searched. He said, "No, fuck that, man. You can't get stopped and searched." And then now he's getting stopped and searched with me all the time. And now he's like kind of known to police or whatever and get stopped and searched 24/7. Like it's now become a whole thing. I get the black boy thing, but it's
no. But do you know why
it's
do you know why
it's a black culture thing?
Yeah, but do you know why it's different? Yeah, if a white boy acts normal or acts like a white boy, then he's not going to get stopped and searched. You get you can't not
to an extent, bro.
Because like you said that he's only going to get stopped if he adopts the culture. Yeah.
Yes, but that's the same as a white. That's the same as a black boy adapting a white culture.
It is, but it's
no, it is, bro. Because if I was wearing a suit and tie every day,
think about it. You said earlier, yeah. What is his brother on? What is his family on? Man didn't choose what my family. I didn't choose my family. I didn't choose my brother.
But you can choose to wear a suit every day. You can choose to wear a shirt and tie every day.
If look, there's people that get targeted because of who their family are. Not even because of anything they've done, but because of who their family are. Like this is an inherited thing. It's an inherited hate. It's different if you choose to pick up a culture and they hate you because of that. But this hate is something that's inherited. Man's born into this. I'm born into my family. I'm born black. I'm born into the ends. I'm born into poverty. I'm born into all the things that make them hate, man. I didn't pick up this culture and say, yeah, I want to be like this. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all, yeah. So it's a little bit different, because it's almost like, you're almost forced into it as a black youth. Yeah.
Let me read this message. Hold on, one second. Let me read this message right before the time out. Right, we don't want to read this one in particular. Freckle-faced mama says, my son, who is 16 and biracial, gets stopped all the time, and I'm in Essex.
I was going to say, I live in Essex.
Yeah. NG Bant says, we have similar issues here in Notts. It's a nationwide thing. Do you know what? I'm going to pose a couple of questions to you all, right? And actually to Freckle-faced mommy. So, and we're going to have a talk about this, about being biracial thing. So the son gets stopped all the time. Is it because, but how, I think actually what Mr. 100 was saying, how was he identified? So your son is biracial. How was your son identified when he stopped by the police? Is he stopped as an IC3 male, which would be a black male? Or is he stopped as an IC1 male, which would be a white male? Sorry, IC1 or IC3 white male, black male. So that's probably a question I ask Freckle-faced mum. Also, another question I want to ask, right? Back to what Milan was saying, actually. Milan made a good point. Not about their balls getting heavy, not that point. Milan made a good point about son's 6, and when he sees the police, happy to see the police, and as kids do, they're happy to see police cars and happy to see all that. When does that change? It's a question I'll ask you all. When does that change from
when he's 13, 11? Doesn't matter. Okay, wait. Do you know when it changes? When he's allowed to play out with his friends. That's when it changes. See, when he's allowed to play out without mummy's supervision, and he's with his brethren riding bike. This time he's just riding his little bike. Yes, that's when it changes. From there.
That's facts.
From there. Do you know why? Right. Because older guys that ain't even gonna be, they just might just be around. They see a young youth. Because I've seen young youths come up and you see them, they're riding their little bike and they're excited to just all get outside. You watch them grow. You're right, little man. Don't know. And then you've even had to get involved. Actually, how many times have you had to get involved? Police harassing the little youngies that just come out on their little bike, and you're thinking, not him. Like there's youngies out here that are actually doing things and stabbing people. Not this youngie that just rides the bike.
I had to stop. I've done it better. I remember the first time I saw you get stopped by police and you was on your bike.
That's what I'm saying. No, that's what I explained in here earlier. I was saying, like,
no, not even that time. Not even that time. When I was walking down the road, Norbury Avenue, and I saw you by Camden. Do you remember?
Oh, yeah, randomly. That was random. That was just random. Still, they just pulled out on me like, yeah, stop. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then guy was making the joke. You were making a joke with me. He's like, oh, what's this weed underneath the seat? I was like, there's nothing underneath the seat. And he was like, oh, And I was just thinking, why are you playing like that? You're trying to, like, obviously just joking, innit? But to me, I probably didn't get it. I was only like, what, 14, 15? I'm thinking like, yeah, like, riding my
But like
bike.
I said, they do it so you're scared growing up. Because as soon as they see you're not with your mum no more, they're like, yeah, this is an opportunity. Why don't man get stopped with their mum then? You get what I'm saying?
They're going to pull up to her man's mum and say, I need to search her son. No, they're
You
not
get what I
doing
mean? Like,
even this age now. You talk
because
to
they
your
know
mum now.
you're going to be afraid. You're by yourself. You're vulnerable. You don't know what's going to happen. You're going to have fear in your heart, and then you're going to grow with that fear. That's why they do it.
All right, let me read some of these messages. P. Lee says, that's true, Ash. I've seen that in my family. I think referring back to what Ash was saying and Mr. Wonder was saying about, depending on who your family members are, you might be associated. Good response here. Freckle-faced mama says, saying our son is identified as a black male. Now, on that, right, I know Chiz and I was talking about, we're going to try and do a topic about race and how you identify. And the reason I was talking about this is we're saying, we're talking about people who are biracial and how they identify. And one of the things I've always said is, I feel a bit frustrated if someone who's biracial is identified by the police specifically as IC3 or black. And I tell you the reason why I say this, right? I might talk out of turn. If I do, forgive me, but my reasons for this are simple. If a biracial person commits a crime and you're identified as black, you're saying 100% of the people who committed the crime are black, which is an unfair equation, isn't it? It's like saying if my mum is Ghanaian and my dad's Nigerian and I commit a crime, you're saying all Nigerians are commit crimes. Well, actually, it's not really fair on the other side because I'm actually half Ghanaian as well. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I have an issue with that. But again, we are going to have a topic about race and about how people identify. So it's good to hear your views. Before I forget,
can I just say back to my cousin? Sorry, literally, my cousins, they have never been stopped by police ever in their life, and people perceive them to be white. This is what I'm saying. I am black. They are literally straight hair, blonde hair, blue eyes. Like they look white. Like they're not. They've got a mixed race mum or dad, and then their parent is white. So if you saw them in the street and you walked past them, obviously I would get pictures up. I'm on my phone. If you walked past my cousins on the street, you would think they are white. To the way they talk. It's not
okay. But you're still missing the point. What I'm saying is they can be white, little more. They can be white, ginger hair, blue, white, whatever. What I'm saying is that's calm. I'm saying to you right now, cool. Let's just say they're 13 years old. Yeah, they're white, ginger hair. They're not gonna get trouble by police yet. I'm letting you know. It depends who you carry. You know the saying, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. You see the whole identify or what you identify as. Are you a IC3 or are you a... Listen, that's all good putting that in categories and making it make sense and, it's categories and rare, but it's really not that. It's really not that. Listen to what I'm telling you. You're black, yeah? And then you are with black. Or you're without black. I'm sure it's not no half step. Asian youths are out here, and so you think that because you're Asian. I'm trying to say like Asian youths. There's bare Asian youths that are not on no badness. They don't roll no black youths, but they're getting stopped. But then there's Asian youths
my cousins have never been ever stopped.
But it's not about
35. Who did they? 29. They've never been stopped in their life.
But who did they carry themselves with though? Because I guarantee if your cousins, for example, let's just say they're in Essex, yeah. Cool. They start rolling with a couple of my friends that are white. I guarantee they're getting stopped. It's about culturism. Because as you just said, they are mixed race, If they are mixed race, you put on a 1-2 movie, 2-2 black movie, and they tap into their black culture and they say, fuck it, rare. They will get stopped. They will get noticed by police. Fuck being in Essex, you will get noticed. I hear what you're saying. That's a great point. They haven't been stopped. How old are they, sorry?
I think my oldest cousin's like 35, 36.
Cool. All right. See, he's big 30s. He's already gone past that stage where he ain't going to get stopped. If he ain't been stopped already, he ain't going to get stopped because he is already not mixed with that. He's not mixed with that. But I'm showing you, for example, if you have the little ones that are like 13, 14, and they're still listening to Russ, Gunlean and body and all of them things there, and they're getting into it, they will start, you will see. Because because I've got little cousins. I've got little cousins that are not. I've got a little cousin that is not so little no more, and he has hardly been. He lived in a block where it's like raw, but he was never in trouble. But he was outside though, so sometimes he would have. I think he's probably been stopped and searched a couple times, but he was never really like that. But he knows that. There's people that don't know that at all. Like, as in, they don't know about that. They wouldn't know. Like, if someone said, even if they heard the word, oh yeah, a gun, or they wouldn't know. They'll be like, what? Like, do you get what I mean? Like, they haven't even got, like, their friends not on the road, or their friends not on the road.
No, that's what my cousins aren't. They're my cousins' friends, and my family. They're not on road at all. Like,
that's what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, that's a great point. But at the same time, we're trying to talk about, okay, so for a black youth, there's no getting away. Yeah, there's no getting away, yeah? Cool, there's no getting away, yeah? But, as you just said, for a mixed race youth that looks white, there is kind of getting away because da-da-da-da-da. But, what I'm saying, in the age we live now, you just mentioned a cousin that's 30, yeah?
Yeah.
So if he's 30, born 1990, 89, one of them years there, yeah? Cool. He's past the thing. Right now, it's got worse. His time when he was young, there wasn't so much stabbings and man rapping about rare. So when you're talking about your son, for example, now, they will, do you get it? Like, you have to understand, it is that, like, and it depends what area you live. Like what you just said, they live in Essex. People always want to live, oh yeah, Croydon. Check how much the stab rate is in Croydon. Check how much the arrest rate for black youths is in Croydon, but you still want to live there and raise your black youth there. It's a lot. There's so much you can add to the thing. Because if you go take your youth now and put him in, people even said in Knots. Whoever said that in Knots, big up you. But I've been there. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter. You got youths that are white that are getting harassed by Jakes, and man is there in a shirt and man's got to tell them, please chill out and rare. These times, I'm thinking like, they might just try to search me, but I have nothing to hide. But,
you know what? Yeah, it's not even a lie, you know. They're definitely, depending on what area you're from, depending on who the police target. But the police do target whoever they're targeting from young. But obviously, like, there's a traveller community, them man, they get moved to by feds. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so there's different communities, but it's like, the whole point is that if the communities that are afraid of police.
Wait, hold on. Who was your friends growing up, brother? Just asking, because you, bro, remember, man, grew up with you. I'm 3 years younger than you, but when you was playing out from the ages 11 to about 14, 15, what was the majority of the colour of your friends, brother?
Well, when I was young, most of them was white from when I was growing up. When I was young, most of the white.
When you was young, so from about 11, as I said, to about 11 to about 13, 14. Till you started going secondary school, you only had the white friends on the block, right?
Yes, mate.
Were they getting in trouble by police, brother?
Yeah, definitely.
Come on, brother. Do you get it? And that's the lead to the thing. They will get in trouble before black youths were getting in trouble because they're really doing things. The only reason why it's so bad because certain black youths are really not doing things. There's white youths out here doing things. They're robbing cars. They're doing their little thing, joyriding. Do you get it? Bricking a shop and going to hit it and doing all these things. That's because that's what they do. But then they're getting in trouble by the police as well. We're upset because we're getting in trouble for the police. They ain't done nothing, which is fair enough. But would you rather, okay, cool, let me ask you something. Cool, let's just say, God forbid now, someone close to you did die from knife crime on this street or on this little bit of block here, and he was young, he was like 13, 11. Would you want them to now take out a section, whatever, and make sure that they're searching all the youths from 14 just to make sure, regardless of what colour they are? Because let's just say it was a black on black youth. Let's not act like the black on black crime rate is not high, people. This is why I'm not shocked that police are stopping black youth. I'm a blackie myself. I'm scared to get stopped myself. But that's because man knows what things have happened and that man can't act. And that's one thing at first, cool. I hate when police bother me. Don't ever get twisted. But man knows why. It's not hard to guess why. Do you get what I mean? The only reason why I'm 27, so it's like, it's only because my young features and because I can pass for a teenager. You're searching me, innit? You get what I'm trying to say?
You can't.
Yeah, I know. Because guys, we've got less than 10 minutes to go. And we've yet to do our Arts Millie and our second topic as well. So
we don't have time to do that. So what I would suggest is to do the Ask Millie in the words of wisdom, because
Yeah, that second topic again. I like the second topic as well. So shout out to that person who will remain nameless who chose that second topic because you deserve anything that you asked for.
No, they don't. Can I just put it up there? It was my child who picked it, and she definitely wants money. She's not having it. No.
That's you, man.
Huh?
Absolutely not.
What was that?
It was my child who picked the second topic.
And she wants money.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah,
and she deserves it as well.
Yeah, a quick scores £30. What? Won't go amiss.
Nah, she makes more.
I'm willing to donate. How many people in this chat? There's more than 5 people. I'm willing to donate a £5.
There we go. She's got £5 already. Sorted.
There's £5. There's a third £5. Everyone raise up a £5. That's donation. Chidi, send your bank details. Yeah, we'll get that sorted. Get that wired. We get that in there. You get what I mean?
As I said, we got less than 10 minutes ago. We still got to do our Ask Millie and our words of wisdom from Cher. So, Chids,
so we going
over to you.
Yeah, it's a quick one. So I'm gonna do a quick one because initially I stole one from NG Band, but I'm gonna actually use that on the show that he comes on. So this one is. So I don't understand. I got my body done 7 months ago. I now have the perfect boobs, bum, and stomach with a sexy face to match. I still can't seem to find a good man out there. I'm convinced they're all just dogs, gay, or fun. How is it I still can't find a decent one? Billy, tell me why.
First of all, throw yourself in the bin. You changed your body for a man. Throw yourself in the bin. You're finished. You're for the streets. You're a fox. Bye. Second of all, you can't find anyone because you now look like everybody else. You now look like everybody on Instagram. You now look like every fucking... Okay, I don't really watch porn, but you now look like a porn star. You now look like some girl that swings around a pole. You're no different. You just look like no. I don't understand. I said I had my body done. Oh Lord Jesus God, put yourself in the bin. Put your whole self in the bin. Go back to where you got it from. Get a refund and get them to inject the fat back into you. Because I don't understand. You got your body done for what? Because you thought that would find you a good man. I bet you're still posting stupid pictures in Instagram as well in your underwear, thinking that you're going to get some... Huh? No, that's what she's doing. She's still posting dumb pictures on Instagram in her underwear or bum out, boobs out, thinking that that's going to attract the guy that she wants. Like, what guy? What do you even want? You got your body done for what? What do you want? Why didn't you go and approach the guys that you think you want? Because I don't think you know. You're just following a fashion, and you've got lumbered with this body that's not working. Do you know what I mean? So why don't you go and approach the guys that you think you want? Do you know what I mean? Why are you waiting for guys to come to you because you now look hot, in your opinion? Nah, I haven't really got much to say on that topic. Apart from
I respect what she said. Still, she touched it on the head. Still, but you said that she changed it for a man. That wasn't specific in the question. I'm going to say that. She said she changed her body, got a banging face to match, and no one ain't really shouted her thing. Her thing ain't ringed off how she thought it was going to happen. That's all she said. So let's not just drill her. You can guide her into say, listen, pattern up now, innit? You got the body, pattern up, innit? Like, but to be honest, though, she could have been a person that was throwing out her biscuits and cookies from early, and then she went and got her body done thinking I was going to change her thing.
It wouldn't. That's why she put herself in a bin. She's for the street. She's a fox. See you later.
That's biscuits and cookies from early, you know.
I know. Guys, we've got less than 5 minutes ago. Do some of his messages and then we're going to do our words of wisdom from Cher, right? So, Peely says, looks attract, personality...
No.
Okay.
Looks attract, personality keeps. If your soul isn't clean, you have no hope. Izan and Kim says, men or women should never change their appearance for anyone apart from themselves. Cher. Words of wisdom.
I like my bum.
Yeah, man. So for my words of wisdom, I did it feminine and masculine energy. Let me just get my.
Loves me, you know.
It says,
Look at it now.
sometimes when you feel like you haven't been taught how to be a man or be a woman or love a man or woman properly, this can throw your feminine and masculine energy.
Sorry to cut you, but your mic is like it's going in and out.
Someone phoning her.
Yeah.
Someone ringing you off right now.
If you take out your charger, take out your charger.
Yeah, it's interference on the line.
I
Is
can
it
hear.
that?
Can you hear me now?
Now I'm gonna mute myself. 'Cause I think it's me.
Oh,
Maybe mute yourself.
it still sounds fuzzy. Also, I really want to hear this because you haven't heard this in weeks, and I don't want it to be.
It's proper interference on the line. Like,
What about now?
nah, yeah, that's good.
Better. Sorry. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry. So yeah, sometimes when you feel like you haven't been taught how to be a man or woman or love a man or woman properly, this can throw your feminine and masculine energies off balance. However, the important thing to remember is you are the creator of your own destiny and you decide each day to create balance in life. Balance is taking the good and the bad, the nurturing side and the protectiveness, and creating something which satisfies the soul. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. See, that's what? She's my who? My what? My real cousin in real life. Yeah. Real cousin in. Yeah. Yes, Cher.
Love it,
Love
Cher.
that.
Love it.
Loved it.
I'm muted. Quick pull up. Sorry, I was muted. Can't we get a quick pull up of that one? Quickly. I like that one there. Quickly. I like that one. Quickly. We can get one more of that one there. Quickly. Read it again. From the top. We can't do that? Okay, cool. We can. I'm waiting.
Okay, my feedback. Like you haven't been taught how to be a man or woman or love a man or woman properly. This could be your feminine and masculine energies off balance. However, the important thing to remember is you are the creator of your own destiny and you decide each day to create balance in life. Balance is taking the good and the bad, the nurturing side and the protectiveness, and creating something which satisfies the soul.
Love that. Absolutely love that. Thank you for that.
Love it.
If you don't know, every week
Yeah,
we're doing
what's
our
going
words
on
of
there?
wisdom for from Shem. And last message before we leave, because we've got like a minute left. Freckleface Member says, self-love is key. If you can't love yourself, how can you love anyone else? Love that. Guys, before we cut, because again, we've got about a minute left to go. Don't forget, we're back next week from 10 p.m. We'll be on time. I won't say he was late this week. We're back next week, Wednesday, right here. Don't forget, get us on the YouTube as well if you haven't already. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and tell a friend, and tell some more friends, all right? So, until next week, I think next week, Chiz is doing a one-to-one next week. So if you haven't seen our one-to-ones, like last week we had Ashley and Jonathan Hawkes doing their own one-to-one special. And I believe next week Chiz has got a one-to-one as well. I know we've got NG back swaying us and all the other things happening as well. So if you haven't already, make sure you obviously check it out. And don't forget we're back next week, Wednesday at 10 o'clock, all right?
As he following his mum like this. Look.
So see you guys later.
Love.